Hello, my name is Joshua Bay. I'm a public benefits specialist at Takis McGinnis Elder Care Law, and today I'm going to talk about transferring of assets for less than fair market value. What does TennCare consider an asset? Cash, bank accounts, stocks, bonds, retirement accounts, real estate, etc. An example of a less than fair market value transfer that we see a lot in our office is a relative being added to the deed of the Medicaid applicant. In general terms, the transfer was uncompensated. Once the asset is transferred, it starts a look-back period. The look-back period is a time period in which any asset transferred made for less than fair market value will affect an individual's eligibility for long-term services and support, choices 1, choices 2. An asset transfer that occurred prior to the individual's look-back period is not counted as a resource or as an asset transfer. The look-back period is 5 years. Any asset transfer within the 5-year look-back period could result in a penalty period being established by TennCare. To calculate the penalty period, TennCare will take the amount of the uncompensated transfer and divide it by the average daily private pay rate of $182.42. The penalty period will determine the number of days in which the individual is ineligible for nursing facility services. Eligibility cannot begin until the full number of days has passed. For choices 1 applicants, the start date for the penalty period is the date the individual is eligible for institutional Medicaid and would have been eligible for choices if not for an improper transfer, or the date of the transfer, whichever is later. For home and community-based services individuals that would be eligible for choices 2 if not for an improper transfer, the start date for that penalty period is the date of application or the date of the transfer if the enrollee is already receiving choices benefits. There is no limit on the maximum months of ineligibility. Once a penalty period begins, it will continue to run uninterrupted even if the individual stops receiving institutional level of care services. Penalty periods for more than one transferred asset will run consecutively, not concurrently. Any uncompensated value for multiple transfers is added to the initial uncompensated value if penalty periods overlap to determine the consecutive penalty period. If the entire transferred resource is returned, the period of ineligibility does not apply. To meet this exception, the individual must reacquire the same percentage of ownership interest in the resource that existed prior to the original transfer. If you have any questions about transferring assets for less than fair market value, just give us a call.